Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane, quiz number 3. Type your first and last name. We are reading the book The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane by Kate DiCamillo. Revisit chapters 21 to Coda in the text to answer the following questions. Number 1, why does Neil crack Edward's head on the counter? Because he is scared of rabbits? Because Bryce is playing his harmonica too loudly? Or because Bryce could not pay his bill? So why did Neil, the diner owner, crack Edward's head on the counter? Was it because he was scared of rabbits? Bryce was playing his harmonica too loudly, or because Bryce couldn't pay his bill? Number 2, how did Sarah Ruth appear to Edward in his dream? So if you remember the chapter directly after Edward has his head cracked on the counter, he walks up to Abilene's house and everyone he's ever known is there. Bull and Lucy are there. Abilene's there. Nellie and Lawrence are there. And Sarah Ruth is there, but he's looking for her. He doesn't see her right away. So how does she appear to him in that chapter? Is she a ghost, a constellation, or an animal? Remember, a constellation is a grouping of stars in the sky. Is she a ghost, a constellation, or an animal? Number 3, which character appears at the book's beginning and ending? So which character was at the beginning in the first couple chapters and in the last chapter? Was it Abilene, Pellegrina, or Lucius Clark? So Abilene was was the little girl who took Edward on the ship. Pellegrina was the character who always kept telling Edward that he disappointed her. And Lucius Clark was the doll mender, the one who fixed his head. So which one was both at the beginning and the ending? For A, how did Edward realize it was Abilene in the store? He saw the pocket watch. The old doll was right. He was bored in the store. So how did Edward realize it was Abilene? Was it the pocket watch? Was the old doll who kept telling him someone would come for him? Or was he just bored? So 4B goes with 4A. So once you realize the answer to 4A, think about that answer when you are completing 4B. So 4B, which detail from the text best supports the answer for part A? So how did you know your answer for 4A? Was it because the doll mender walked away, turning out the lights one by one? I hope you don't think that anyone is going to buy you. So the first doll said that to Edward. When he first got placed on the shelf, she said, I don't think anyone's going to buy you. Or she put her hand on the locket that hung around her neck. Edward saw it was not a locket at all. So which one of these told you the answer to 4A? Was it the doll mender turning out the lights? An old doll telling Edward that no one was going to buy him? Or when Maggie, Abilene's daughter, came into the store and found Edward, and the narrator of the story says she put her hand on the locket. So it was Abilene, as an older woman, put her hand on the locket that hung around her neck, and Edward saw it was not a locket at all. Number 5, read the list of characters below and type them in order to show the correct order of Edward's owners. Start with the first owner and end with the last owner. So you're going to click here. You're going to spell them correctly because they're listed right here. And you're going to start with his first owner. If you want, you can number them. That might help you to keep them organized. And then type his second owner. And then his third owner. And then his fourth owner. And his fifth, and his sixth. They are not listed in order, so you have to put them in order. And you can use your book. Number 6, at the beginning of the book, Pellegrina told Edward a story about a beautiful princess who was punished for not loving anyone. She told this story to Edward because she felt he was like the princess in the story and didn't love anyone either. How did Edward's miraculous journey teach him to love others? Give 3 examples from the book to support your answer. 3. It is worth 9 points. Each answer is worth 3 points. So you're going to give 3 answers that will each be worth 3 points. 3, 6, 9. So number them. 1, number 2, number 3. Give 3 examples of how did Edward learn how to love others. So the author sent him on a miraculous journey, and give 3 examples of how he learned to love others. I would definitely pause the video here. Give yourself time to make sure 1 through 6 are correct. Give yourself time to type those owners in order. Number 6 is going to take you a little while, so take your time. And make sure you have that complete, and then click play when you're ready for vocabulary. Number 7, Lucius Clark gave Bryce 2 blank. Take him somewhere else, or let Lucius Clark fix Edward and keep him forever. So is it gestures, options, or contrarian? So put the word in the blank to see if it makes sense. Lucius Clark gave Bryce 2 gestures. Take him somewhere else, or let Lucius Clark fix Edward and keep him forever. Options. Lucius Clark gave Bryce 2 options. Take him somewhere else, or let Lucius Clark fix Edward and keep him forever. Or contrarian. Lucius Clark gave Bryce 2 contrarian. Take him somewhere else, or let Lucius Clark fix Edward and keep him forever. Number 8, when Edward can think and feel like a human, that is an example of personification, gestures, expectancy. Personification, gestures, or expectancy. Which one is when an author takes a non-human thing and makes it act like a human? Number 9, the house on Egypt Street looked blank to Edward as he walked up to it in his dream. Looked option to Edward, looked contrarian to Edward, looked familiar to Edward. Number 10, a blank is a type of movement to express a feeling, like a thumbs up or a peace sign. So would that be a gesture, an option, or an expectancy? So this type of movement in the book was Bryce wiping his nose with the back of his hand. If you remember, it made Edward sad because it reminded him of Bryce and how much he missed him. Number 11, unlike the other dolls in the shop, Edward does not want a new owner. This makes him a blank, a personification, a contrarian, or a familiar. Remember, all the dolls wanted a home, but Edward's heart was broken, and he didn't think he could love anymore. He was so tired of losing the people that he loved, he decided he didn't want a new owner. He didn't want to go through that again. Whereas all the dolls in the shop wanted a new owner. So he was the opposite of them. So which one of these means opposite? Personification, contrarian, or familiar? And number 12, when Edward finally began to open his heart, he was filled with expectancy, personification, or gestures. So which one means a good feeling of hope that something good is going to happen? Check over all your work before you click submit. Raise your hand if you have questions.